Good to see you all again. And tonight we have a very fun topic where sleep equals more money. So, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Robyn. I'm a sleep health coach, stress management specialist. I'm also a clinical pharmacist, and I am here to help you to get the most amazing sleep ever. So tonight I want to really do a deep dive into, really how sleep can help us to be more productive in our lives, really have our brains working at maximum level so that hopefully that we can all become more prosperous and abundant. So again, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Robyn. I see some people starting to come in on the chat. Definitely give us a like and definitely let us know. I'm going to scroll down, put some questions down for us in the chat. Let us know where in the world that you are actually watching from. I know our last chat, we had people from the UK, we had people from Dubai. I think we have someone from Australia. So we have people from all over the planet, which is amazing. So I wanted to really talk about this topic and really focusing on, I know I talk about going to sleep at night a lot. And that's really where we get a lot of our regeneration and our repair. But what about that midday slump? That can really come excessively, really around lunchtime. We can all get that slump, that midday. It can happen anywhere from, like really 12 to 2 p.m., where we're feeling tired, we're feeling drained, and we're feeling that we really can't get going again. And we have so many other things to do for the rest of the day. We could find ourselves, reaching for that caffeine fix, that afternoon coffee, and actually just, doing a lot of things to try and keep that energy going. When actually getting some rest would actually be super beneficial. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about how sometimes people are just pushing through. They're just sludging through, pushing through, and trying to grind harder and harder. Hi, I see some people coming into the chat. Good evening. Happy to see you. Be sure to let us know in the world, where are you watching from? Are you watching here in the USA? Are you in Canada somewhere, in the UK? Put down in the chat where you're watching from. I love to see where everyone is watching from tonight. So that's awesome. So we are talking about, hi, good. Okay, someone says they're watching from India. Welcome. That's amazing. Awesome. And another people, that is so great. So I'm so excited that we're reaching people all over the planet to help them to wake up in the morning ready to take on their world. So we're going to talk about that afternoon slump that we all can feel. I know I personally get up pretty early in the morning. I can get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. So by noon, I'm definitely feeling that slump. And I want to encourage you, we're not going to talk about how to fight it. We're going to talk about how to go with it and how more sleep equals more money. Okay, and thank you for the hearts and the likes. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. So there's a little secret I want to tell you. There was a study done of the 2023 workforce. It was done here in the USA, and where employees took a 30-minute nap as a part of their lunchtime. They were actually able to save their company 15% more in money, and they actually boosted their output. So the afternoon can be kind of a slowish, sluggish time. They were actually able to increase output for definitely more opportunities, more abundance, and more money in those afternoons. So this does sound like a career cheat code or a cheat code for success in general. Absolutely. One of the major reasons, and we talked about this on a lot of videos, your brain is actually consolidating emotions that you felt throughout the day and memories you felt throughout the day when you get good rest. So being sure to take a nap is so important. So, hustle culture definitely lied to all of us. More desk time does not necessarily make you more successful. There was even a study where NASA did where they actually looked at pilots who napped for about 30 minutes, and they found that after they awakened from the nap, they had about 54% more increased alertness, and 34% more increased reaction time. So they can react to things that are being thrown at them much faster. So definitely, whether you are, you're a coder, you're a salesperson, you're an employee, you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever your job is, you can benefit more and actually be more productive if you are well rested. So we're going to go into some of the definitely things for that. So some of the key things to keep in mind is really getting that afternoon nap instead of reaching for caffeine. And some people said, in the comments, well, what if I can't do that? Look at your lunch period. That's what I do, and that's what I do. During that lunchtime, you can usually grab about a 30-minute rest period. Okay, so that's going to differ from different people to people. Use your lunchtime as a partial rest time. And I'm answering questions here as they pop up. Someone just asked, suppose I can't get to sleep in 30 minutes. Another wonderful question. Thank you all for the questions. Keep them coming. One of the things that they have found is just taking a time to rest. So if you're able to get outside with some fresh air, some sunshine, I know it's getting colder here. You may not be able to do that, but taking that time midday for a rest period will do wonders for your productivity, energy, and definitely, hopefully making you more abundant and prosperous as well. So that's a really good question. One of the techniques you can try is yoga nidra. This is where you enter into that alpha state. That's the state that you enter in before you go to sleep, but you don't have to take a deep sleep in order to get the benefits that you would get from resting your brain midday, okay? So the ideal times to do this, depending on when you wake up in the morning, if you wake up at 9, 11 a.m. is probably too early for a nap. But if you wake up at like 4, 11 a.m. may be great. So anytime from about 11 a.m. to about 3 p.m. is the latest you want to go for this. And blocking off that partial time in your calendar. So let's say if you get an hour lunch, and if you would like to, you eat first and then you take that 20 to 30 minute power nap so that you will be more energized and ready to take on the rest of the day for all the things that you need to get done. Okay, protect that window. You will consider it's not just a relaxation, a chill window. It's actually a productivity window that will increase how productive you are. So definitely look into that. Block off your calendar. You can call it a focus mode or deep work, deep productivity work, because it actually will increase how productive you are. You don't want to take these if you're doing, that mid-afternoon so that you can power up and be more productive, make more money, become more abundant during the rest of the day. You don't want to take a nap that's like 2 or 3 hours. You're going to ruin your nighttime sleep if you do that. So you want to do about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's what we call a power nap, where you're just going to power through those 20 to 30 minutes. Again, if you can't get into a deep sleep, that's okay. They have done some studies where they found that your body still can rest and regenerate and renew itself. Actually, when you're just getting nice rest and relaxation, where you're not really, working on a problem, where you're not really doing a lot of problem solving, you're just taking that time for yourself. A short period of time will actually boost that productivity. And some of the other things you can do, this is a nice trick. You can try like a caffeine trick. If you're looking forward to that afternoon coffee, you can do this right at the beginning of taking the nap, because it takes a while for the coffee to kick in. It could take about 20 minutes. So you could try drinking that first and taking the rest, and you'll naturally kind of be alert and ready to get back to work, because the coffee will start kicking in for that 20-minute rest period later. So there's a lot of cultures throughout the planet that really advocate that midday rest so that you can boost their productivity. One of them is the Japanese culture. This is something that's commonly seen during this actually midday period where they're actually encouraged to rest and have a nap time. Some of the other different European countries will see that as well. As you all are coming into the chat, tell me where you're from. And definitely send us some likes so we can get this out to the algorithm. I appreciate it. And be sure to ask us some questions as well, so we can definitely go and deep dive into more questions. So we want to definitely look into, some of the countries that have really set the tone for this. Japan is a really, really great example. Their doctors also write prescriptions when a patient is, really too stressed out to really, really, maximize their health. They write certain prescriptions for them to actually enjoy what they call forest bathing. And that's basically a walk with a lot of trees around in nature. Nature and the nature sounds can put us into a natural, what they call alpha state. And that's the state right before sleep, where it's a very calm, soothing state that helps to regulate our nervous system. I see somebody coming in. Hi, I'm doing good, I think Mr. Salty is here. I'm doing good. Good to see you on here. Be sure to like this live, and definitely be sure, if you're new here, to subscribe to SleepWell RX. If you are looking to maximize your rest time, your sleep time, so that you can definitely be more productive, more abundant, more prosperous in life. So we're going over right now, we were talking about some of the countries that actually advocate for this for a lot of their workers. And they do find that they see increased productivity, increased money, and just a more abundant, prosperous, and a more happier workforce as well. Definitely taking that time out. We talked about renaming it work time. And someone said my sleep time is good regardless. Okay, that's something. So he brought up a really good question. If you're having issues with sleep apnea, you definitely want to get that tested out. They have some new things that have come out, and that means a lot of times when you're having the sleep apnea, you're not getting good oxygenation in. A lot of people, they'll actually stop breathing while they're sleeping. So definitely making sure that you see a professional for that, getting some, definitely some testing done. Then we have sleep centers where you can actually go. You'll spend overnight there where they'll actually test to see, how bad the apnea is, if you actually need to move forward and actually have supplemental oxygen at night. Yeah, so that's a really good point. So definitely you want to make sure, that you have an area at your job. I know a lot of people, we're just sedentary at these desks all day. Getting that movement throughout the day will actually make you a little bit more tired at night so that you can get a great night's sleep. It'll actually help to activate that midday nap time too. So many people want to reach for, the chocolate bar, the hot chocolate, all of the different things, the protein shakes that are full of caffeine, those caffeine energy drinks for that midday slump. I like to recommend to my clients that really go with what your body is doing. If you've been up since 4 or 5 in the morning, if you're tired at noon, that's okay. If that's your lunch break, take about 30 minutes to rest. Then you're going to really be more rejuvenated, well rested, and more productive during that afternoon time. Very much so. So definitely. Thank you all for the likes. Be sure to subscribe here. Definitely. We're going to talk a little bit more. I should be here about 15 more minutes or so as we go into that. So some of the things we talked about, some issues and hacks that may actually help you to get that rest. If you can't go to sleep during that midday, don't force yourself to do so. If you're feeling that tired slump, though, go along with that and relax. If you, have a safe place you relax, I don't want you all to be unsafe, so have a safe place. If you go to your car, you have a special desk where you can go to and just have that downtime and that down period. Once again, this is just for 20 to 30 minutes a day. Some people say, what if I'm worried about, like if I'm drooling or my hair and I'm at work? Really, really good point. So have just, a quick little bag where you carry some things and you just run to the restroom. You can wipe off anything that, drool or anything like that in the evening. Just wipe that off. You can refresh makeup, refresh hair, do a quick refresh, so that you won't feel that you're just totally not together because you took a quick rest. That's a good question. Um, and someone said, okay, and that's another good point. What if it's difficult because it's so noisy, loud, the lighting? So that's a good point. So what you can do, once again, if you can find a place, your car, some other place that's kind of quiet and gentle where you can get that rest, where you can actually put over, an eye mask on for that afternoon break time. Doing that eye mask is a really good idea. If you want to just put in, some quick earplugs, okay? Just for that 20 to 30-minute rest time, if it's really loud and noisy, that would help dim some of that down for a nice rest so that you're rejuvenated to be abundant and prosperous in the afternoons. That's a good question. Let's see if I missed any other questions here. Okay, looks good. So definitely, if you are finding that midday you're having, your mind is just racing and racing. I tell people midday and also at night, definitely take that time to do a brain dump where you are dumping, all these racing things into your mind. Dump them on a sheet of paper or have a journal with you where you can scribble and get that off of your chest. Something that's really important. I was just watching another YouTube video and a YouTuber said this: after we have our basics taken care of as humans, we have our air, of course, our food, our water, our shelter, we need self-expression. We need to get things off of our chest and express ourselves. A lot of times when our mind is racing, we haven't had an opportunity to do that. So one really, really great way is to write it out, journaling. If we have someone to talk to, if we're working with a therapist, counselor, all of those are great ways to get that stuff off of our chest. If we keep it on our chest, it can stay there and cause us, issues with mental health and our physical health as well. So human expression, humans having the ability to express themselves. Of course, as adults, we have to know the proper time, the proper place to do this self-expression, but it is not healthy for us to keep things just bottled up inside. That was a lesson I had to learn. I've been learning it, and it's a repeated lesson for me personally, just being honest. And getting that additional rest, and if my mind is racing, getting it off my chest is so important. And I'm always encouraging my clients to do that. This is something that women have more problems with than men. Men are pretty good at doing this. Women can be difficult because we were taught to be, good girls and, just, if we're quiet, things will get better and it'll go away. It usually doesn't. We know that from experience. We know that from experience right now. So getting that stuff off of your chest is so important. Definitely having, if you have an alarm, if you need an alarm to wake you up, super important, because you don't want to miss, if you're going to do a quick lunch after that, then get back to being productive. Definitely have a timer. I recommend gentle timers, whether you're waking up from that nap or you're waking up from, going, to sleep at night into the morning. Really loud, blaring timers are really bad for your heart, your cardiovascular system, and your adrenals, okay? Jarring yourself awake, it puts you in a semi-state of terror and high stress, and very much of a toxic position. You don't want to be woken like that. You want to have gentle music waking you up. If you're in a really dark room, you can have a sunrise alarm where it seems like the sun is gently, lightening the room. They have various alarms like that. Do not have that blaring, horrible, loud alarm. Definitely, you don't want that. So put your questions down here and be sure to subscribe to SleepWell RX. If you are looking to really maximize your productivity, we call this today more sleep, more money, because ultimately when you are better rested, you will be able to be more productive in your life. It's hard running on empty. I know we hear a lot of this, people saying this, and I even hear people saying, well, I'll just sleep when I'm dead. That's very disturbing when I hear that, because you may hasten that time a lot quicker if you don't get the rest that you need, okay? You need that good rest for mental health. If you're prone to mood instabilities, panic, anxiety, calming down in the middle of the day is a great, great, great way to definitely get a handle on mental health, okay? One of the things, I'm always going to pump my our SleepWell RX spray. And definitely check out sleepwellrx.com. This is a great thing that people can have at their desk. Just really give a quick spritz in the afternoon when they have some little downtime, and it's a part of their lunch break. They can definitely do that so that they can rest, relax, take some deep breaths so that they are able to be more productive in the evening. Not only is there more work to do in that afternoon, a lot of us have, friend obligations, family obligations, home obligations. Just the obligation of commuting back to home can definitely, really, there's a lot of accidents occur that during that time. If we were more alert because we're better rested, we wouldn't really experience those as much. So I'm definitely going to see if there's any other questions and see what's in. Definitely, if you have any questions about sleep, stress, getting, really being more productive, definitely put those down there below and let me know. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here to SleepWell RX. We help you to get the most amazing sleep ever, helping you to end insomnia, okay? Someone said, can I take a sleeping pill in the middle of the day? I would not recommend that, because the sleeping pills are really unless you have the whole rest of the day and you don't start work to midnight. Because we do have clients like that who are natural night owls, and they'll start work at midnight and get off at 7. So, taking a sleeping pill makes sense for them. It has a long half-life, which means it's going to last a long time in your body, keeping you sleepy. And once again, we're talking about power naps, being more productive for the rest of your day after you hit that afternoon slump. So power naps are 20 to 30 minutes. I would not advise at all taking a sleeping pill, because those sleeping pills will keep you tired for like the next 8 or 9 hours. A lot of times they keep you tired beyond that. You can be sluggish and really groggy beyond the 8 or 9 hours. It's like a side effect of those. There's tons of side effects for them. So I would not allow that. I would just allow your natural nature, if you're feeling that sluggish, to take on. Definitely. That's a good question. Great question. So definitely, building this habit, it'll take a few days. So give yourself about 5 days to build it. Once you're going to notify and really block off that time. If you have a regular lunchtime, this is great. And this is ideally when this should be. You're already getting that hour lunchtime. Block off 20 to 30 minutes for actually getting that rest in. Number 2, practice relaxing. If you're saying, I can't get to sleep, I was really fascinated about a new study, and I'm going to have to definitely probably do a whole nother live about the study, where they found that people who couldn't get into those deep sleeps, when they take time to just relax and rest, they found that they had improved nervous system regulation. They were actually able to do some of the DNA repair that occurs during the deep sleep. Not as much that gets done, but it's still was very, very beneficial. We talked about yoga nidra, which is like when you're entering into that, and they have so many really great yoga nidra, particular on this particular platform here on YouTube. Some really good tracks where they would walk you into how to have really calming relaxation, where you don't enter a deep, deep sleep, but you do relax and get some good rest in. If you want to try doing that coffee preload, that's a trick. Again, be careful what time that you time your coffee. Some people, coffee lasts for a really, really long time in their body and they can't get to sleep at night. I definitely caution people, really past 1 or 2 o'clock, probably preferably noon, they shouldn't be having, really big cups of coffee. Of course, unless they sleep during the daytime and they are actually trying to, really be alert for their evening job. And that's totally, totally different. I used to work an overnight job. And so, having, a 6 or 7 p.m. coffee made sense in that particular case. So that's a good question. So let's see if there are any other questions. Definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll keep on going. And you want to actually track, and I'm always telling this, and I actually send notebooks to all my clients where we track certain things, because there's no use of really doing something if you're not really seeing, okay, how effective is this? So track how your productivity is doing once you really take charge of your self-care and say, if I'm feeling tired in the middle of the day, I've been up since 4 or 5, I am going to have a relaxation break, because more sleep equals more money. I'm going to be more productive in the afternoon. I'm going to be more abundant and prosperous. I can't continuously produce from an empty vessel. Eventually, I'll just burn out, run down, and that's what we don't want. We don't want any of that. So thank you all for the likes. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to cover about that today. Definitely run this experiment. Do it for about 5 days. Again, write in your notebook, track down how you felt. Were you more productive? Were you happier? Did you feel that you were more calm, more peaceful? You had good mental health? We have so much stress going on in our world right now. Just immense amounts of stress. And anything we can do to help manage that is super important. I manage it by taking extra naps. I use my aromatherapy. We talked about that before, using the aromatherapy, the magnesium baths. I try to integrate, a lot of different self-care to help manage, a lot of the stress that's going on. I wish I had a magic wand that could just make stress go away. I don't have one yet. If I happen to get one, I would love to assist you with that. But until that happens, best managing our stress is super, super important during this time. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. And someone said, especially with the holidays coming up. Yeah, we have the holidays right around the corner, which can be very high stressful for a lot of people. I know growing up, the holidays were just super, super fun. For me, my family, we had an amazing time. But as I got older, more and more family members began transitioning, passing away, and it just really changed the holidays for us. And where it can be a definitely more stressful time where you think about, those people we miss and loved ones who have gone on. And it's a stressful time where you're trying to be the perfect, especially I think probably women experiences this the most. That's why I tend to help more women. We're trying to have the perfect holiday, have the perfect cookies and cake and decor. Definitely you want to look into, decreasing the stress around that time, setting some boundaries with family members, getting them to help in and pitch out, and really accepting that it's okay if everything isn't perfect. Progress is better than perfection. You've progressed, you're making some memorable, fun events, and it doesn't have to be perfect, because putting all of that perfection, wants onto yourself really increases the stress. So that's something definitely wanted to look into to definitely decrease that. I'm trying to think of anything else. I want to thank you all. We've been about 30 minutes tonight. I don't have as much time tonight. I'm getting over a cold myself. That's another stressor. We're in cough and cold season right now. So being able to take that midday rest and refresher for yourself will definitely help your immune system. This is a time of year where we're exposed to a lot of bacteria, viruses, even parasites, all types of things. If we can strengthen our immune system by being well rested, we will be ahead of the game of everything right now during the cough and cold season. So that's super, super important. Trying to think if there's any other question. I think I answered all the questions. Yay. Again, thank you all for hopping on tonight where we talked about more sleep equals more money, because you will be more productive and ready to take on your world. Especially we're talking about that afternoon slump that everyone seems to feel. They're exhausted and they're just reaching for candy, sugar, caffeine to feel that slump. I say if you've been up long enough, you've been up since 4, 5, 6 in the morning, 12 noon makes a really, really good sense that around that lunchtime that you are taking some deep breaths, calming yourself down and relaxing so that you can actually increase your productivity during the end of the day. I think we got everything today. So thank you all again for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.